Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing, it's precision crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car right in your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Hello and welcome into the Birds of the Round Table. The NFL draft is right around the corner. Today we're going to go through a whole bunch of NFL draft prop bets. So if you want to play along at home, feel free to record your answers and you can check back in with us after the draft. We'll see how everybody did. But I'm your host, Shane Haff. Give me a follow on Twitter at Shane Haff NFL. Joined by the Birds of the Round Table crew and special guest. We'll start off with the guest. It is Mark. Give him a follow on Twitter at Mark Henry Jr. I'm not even going to ask you guys how you're doing. We got a lot of prop bets. So I'll just introduce everybody else. David, give him a follow on Twitter at PHL Eagle News. Dibes is at Mr. Crockpot. Ryan is at Philly Sports PSA. And since Dibes put together 47 of these things, we're gonna get moving here. So let's jump in. If you are an audio listener, we've got a spreadsheet that you can see on the video format. Maybe this is a show you might want to check out on the YouTube as well. But let's dive into it. We're going to go with the first player drafted, offense or defense. I'll just go left to right, and then we'll snake it around. So anyways, I'll go first here. Offense for me. First player drafted is offense. It's going to be Cam Ward.
Same.
Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, offense.
All right. Mark?
Offense.
All right. And then Dibes has offense. David?
Cam Ward, offense.
All right. I think I got us in the right order on the screen now to make this easier. Second player drafted. Ryan, who's going number two, or what position is, offense or defense, number 2 overall?
I'm going to say defense, Travis Hunter, because he's a corner, not a wide receiver.
Are we all going to agree that we're counting him as a corner for this?
No.
For this, yeah, I think so.
But allegedly the Browns are going to have him as a receiver, so I don't know.
I don't know how you score it if it's Travis.
Yeah, it's Travis Hunter. So either way, that's what I'm picking. So I don't. You guys decide how you want to categorize that.
We'll consider him defense for the purposes of this.
Okay.
So Mark.
Same thing. Travis will be the second pick.
All right, David.
I'm going to go Shador Sanders, so I'm going offense.
All right. I will also go defense. Okay, so third player drafted, offense or defense, Mark?
I think it'll be defense. I think it'll be Abdul Carter, which is very funny that they're going to take a Penn State guy who grew up as an Eagles fan again, but it seems that that's what's going to happen.
All right, so Mark's got defense. Dives, what do you have?
Wait, Mark, did you say offense or defense?
Defense, Abdul Carter.
All right. Yeah, I will follow that up with defense.
David?
I agree with Mark, Abdul Carter.
All right. Same for me. I will also go defense.
Let's go for the sweep.
All right. What's up, Eric? Eric's chiming in the chat. Thanks for hopping in on the show here, Eric. Let's go fourth player drafted, offense or defense, Dives?
Offense or defense?
Where it gets dicey.
I'm going to go offense.
All right. David?
I'm going to go offense also, but I think it's Travis Hunter offense. I'm going opposite of Ryan's Otani play there. So.
All right. I'm gonna go defense still. Defense.
Out of curiosity, when was the first defensive player selected last year? I know it was late, but
15, wasn't it?
15.
Was it Verse?
Latu,
yeah.
Colts.
Yeah, Verse was later.
I'm gonna go offense. I think the Pats are gonna grab themselves an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
first defensive player was Latu at 15 last year. That's crazy. That was crazy at the time.
Nuts. That was nuts.
All right. Mark, did you go defense?
I'm going offense.
You're going offense.
I think it's going to be Will Campbell. I think it should be Tet McMillan, but that's a whole other debate.
All right. And then fifth player drafted, offense or defense, David?
Man, I don't know what the Jaguars should do, but I'll just say offense. I guess they need a tackle or something.
Yeah.
They need a lot, man. I don't know. They need BPA in every round.
Offense. Ryan?
This is tough. I guess I'll go defense.
All right, Mark.
It's tough. Their DBs are so bad, but is there a DB worth taking there besides Hunter? I'll take.
Yes.
I'll take offense. I know Will Johnson is worth taking there. He's my number one overall player, but I don't. It seems like he's not going up in that range. I could be wrong.
All right, Dibes.
Offense.
Okay, so let's move on to player-specific over-unders. And just to clarify, when we say over-under Cam Ward 1.5, under means you think he's first overall. Over means you think he's after. So, okay. Dibes, can you freeze that top row so we can see which column is which person's? While you're doing that, I will go first. Cam Ward over/under 1.5. Under. He's going 1 overall. So I've got the under. Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, I'll go same. Definitely going to be picked first.
All right, Mark.
That was a little Excel porn there from Dives. I like it.
Yeah,
I'll go under.
Excel porn. Under.
Right. It's a family show, guys.
All right.
David.
Clean sweep. He's pick one.
Okay. Ryan, that puts you up for Abdul Carter over under 3.5.
I gotta go under. I think the Giants are smart to scoop them up.
All right, Mark.
Under. I think he's the right pick for the Giants, but also like it might be one of their best positions like on their entire roster. So it's a weird situation.
I kind of almost want them to take Carter because it seems like they already you've got Brian Burns, Kevon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, and you have literally one NFL player on your offensive line and no quarterback. Like, I would love for you to just go get another edge rusher and pretend that'll fix your team. I think he's going to be good, but like, it feels like it feels like it's the wrong pick for the Giants.
I'd rather them go Shedeur Sanders. That'd be great.
Well, yeah, I would love it if they went Shedeur Sanders.
That'd be hilarious.
All right, Dibes. What do you have?
Going definitely under.
All right. David.
Under.
And I will also go under. So let's go to our next one here. Ashton Genty, 9.5. Ryan.
I'm going to go under. I think I don't think there's a chance that the Raiders are going to miss on him. I think they love some Genty.
The only thing that would be better than the Giants picking Shedeur would be the Giants picking Genty.
No. That would be hilarious too.
Then in 5 years he can be an Eagle. Mark, over under Ashton Genty, 9.5.
I'm going to go under. I also think he's a Raider, although I did see that I think they were meeting with Will Johnson today.
Yeah, I did.
So that would be a great pick there, but I'll go Genty under to the Raiders.
I mean, you gotta, make it look like you're not going to draft him, right?
Yeah. All right.
That's fair.
Dibes.
Give me the over.
All right. David.
I'm going over also.
All right. And I will take the under. So that brings us to over under Tyler Warren at 10.5. Mark.
Under. I think he is in play for every team except the Raiders from 5 through 9. Like, I think he could be a Jag if maybe they wanted to reach a little bit. The Jets have a need at tight end. I think that's where I'm going to mock him to go. The Panthers, they just took JT Sanders, so maybe not. But and then the Saints definitely, I think, would be looking at him. So I love the under there.
All right. Dibes?
Yeah, I'm going to be very upset when Kellen Moore takes Tyler Warren at 9.
All right. David?
Yeah, I'm under also. For every reason Mark just went through, I agree with all of that. He's in play with like 5 teams under there.
All right. I'm going to take the over. I think he slips just a little past that. I don't think he should, especially in this draft class, but I think the Kyle Pitts of it all is going to linger for some teams.
What about the Brock Bowers of it all?
That's true, but the misses shine brighter than the hits, especially at a position that is not typically considered like top 10 worthy.
Yeah.
If we weren't coming off of Bowers, I would fully agree.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I'm gonna say I agree with Shane here. I think something's telling me he slips just a little bit, just enough, because you look at the hit rate, it's under 10% for sure for tight ends, and Bowers aside, there haven't been too many great ones that drafted that high.
I'll tell you who's hoping you guys are right. The Indianapolis Colts.
Sure. Yeah.
They would very much
they would love that.
The Raiders should just take him and run 12 personnel. All right.
Fullback.
Yeah. Dibes, Shedeur Sanders, over under 10.5.
Definitely over.
All right. David.
I'd say definitely under. I think he's a top 5 pick. I don't agree with it, but we're just guessing where we think, not what I want or believe.
Yeah. I'm also going to take the under. I think he goes top 10. I wouldn't want to be the team taking him up there, but I find it hard to believe that QB2 is going to last past the top 10.
Yeah, I think somebody makes the stupid decision to draft him that early, so I'm going under.
All right, Mark.
So I'm going to take the over, even though I'm mocking him to the Saints, like at 9. So I just think that there's not that many landing spots for him in the top 10. So if I'm wrong on him going to the Saints, I think it's over.
All right. David, over under for Mike Green, 10.5.
Over.
All right, I'm going to smash the over on that one. I think there's a pretty good chance he falls quite a long ways.
Yeah, same. I didn't know he was that high. That's for sure.
I'm also going over for sure there.
If you could remove like the off-field things, which you can't, but like he's worthy of that top 10 pick for his on-field play. But I think there's going to be a lot of teams he's just not on their board.
I'm a little lower on Green than you guys are, so even without the off-the-field things, I don't think I'd see him as a top 10 guy.
Agreed.
Dibes?
Over.
All right, so that brings us to Colston Loveland.
Shamar Stewart.
Oh, yep. Sorry. I skipped a line. Shamar Stewart, over under 10.5. I'm going to take the over. It's either over or he's a Jag. One of the two. Ryan.
Yeah, I gotta say over here. I don't see him getting in the top 10.
I didn't even give him a first round grade. But some team he's going first round. Some team's gonna go after him. But
he'll go late first round, I think.
I not only didn't give him a first round grade, I graded 5 guys ahead of him in the second round at his position group. Was not a fan. Mark.
I'm going to go over, and I have more faith that he shouldn't be a top 10 pick than he won't, but I'll go over.
All right. Dibes?
I'm going to keep saying the same thing I said for months now. He's going to go under on this one.
All right. David?
Yeah, I agree with Dibes. I think the Chicago Bears are silly enough to select him at 10.
Bears fans should be furious if that happens.
If Trent Baalke would have kept that job, he
was a Jag.
He would be a Jag, and it wouldn't even be a question.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, I'll never forget that draft when we all knew as obviously as we know Cam Ward is a Titan. That Travon Walker was going to be a Jag, and everybody was like, that's just so bad. And, to his credit, he's coming off a pretty good year, but still. Ryan, Colston Loveland at 19.5.
I'm going to go over. I think he settles into, mid 20s range.
All right, Mark.
Lock in him being a Charger, so I'll go over.
22, that's probably the first one I really thought of.
I'll go over because it's the Chargers there. That's where they're picking. But I will say I wouldn't be shocked if they trade up into the teens for him. So this is a tough one.
All right. Dibes?
I'm going to go slight under. I think it's going to be, on that Colts radar-ish in 14. I think he gets slightly overdrafted.
All right. David?
Yeah, I agree with Dibes. I'm under as well. I think Shane Steichen really likes him, and I could see him in play for the Colts.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under. I don't think I think he's gone in the teens. I don't think he makes it that far.
Shane is in love with Loveland. That's what I found out on my radio.
Yeah, that is fair. But I also just think I desperately want him to fall because I would love him to be in range for the Eagles. I just don't think it's going to happen. Who went first on that one? Was it Ryan? I think it was Ryan. Mark. Gray Zabel, over under 19.5.
This was my toughest one. I went with the under. I have Tampa taking him at 19 in my mock, so that would be under by just a half slot. And I don't know. It was really one of my hardest predictions. I couldn't figure out who to kind of mock to Tampa. So he got some similarities to some guys they've taken recently. So Zabel to Tampa.
All right. So you said under. Dibes, 19.5 for Gray Zabel.
I'm also under. I like it.
All right. David.
I have him over. I have him in the 20s.
All right. I also have him in the 20s, so I'll take the over. Ryan, you're shaking your head. Are you on board with us?
Yes, I am. I am over in the 20s.
All right. Dibes, Jihad Campbell, 19.5.
I struggle with this one too. I'm going to go under.
All right, David?
I'm going to go under too. It just seems like a Cowboy or Niner type of pick, so I will go with them.
Yeah, I'm also going to take an under. Can get into the positional value stuff. At the end of the day, there's not a lot of guys that I love in this draft, and I think somebody's going to take him because even though it's linebacker, he feels like a lot more sure thing. Ryan,
I'm gonna go over. I see him kind of more of mid to late 20s. I think he's the second linebacker taken off the board, and I don't think there's a linebacker taken within the top 15. So outside of maybe somebody sneaking in and grabbing him, I think he's 20s all over.
All right, Mark.
I'm going over. This is one of my favorite ones on here. I think I said it on the pod with you guys. A lot of people projecting him to be like a top 10 guy. I'm just done thinking the NFL is going to value linebacker that way. We've seen it so many times with guys we've fallen in love with, and we rank top 10, Devin Lloyd or whoever you want to throw out there that go later than we think they're going to go, or at least fall to the back end of the first. So I'm an over there, and I'll just throw this hot take out there. I wouldn't be shocked if he's available on day 2. He's a second round pick.
Wouldn't doubt it either.
Yep.
All right. David, over under for Walter Nolan at 19.5.
Over. Everything that Mark just said, I feel about Nolan. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a day 2 pick either.
Yeah, same. I'm with you. I think if the Eagles want him, there's a chance he's there at 32. I'll say it that way. Ryan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say over, mostly because I want him to be there at 32. So I'm putting it out into the universe.
I'm going to say a slight under just because I heard Cincinnati loves him. That's the only reason. It's a vague reason, but they're picking at 17.
I like my wishful over.
Cincinnati's like, man, we could draft him and then he'll be awesome for us until we decide not to pay him after his rookie contract and then wonder why we can't get to the playoffs. Yeah. Dibes, over under.
This has all the feels of a guy that's going to be sitting there at 32 and the Eagles go a different route. Yep. And then we're sitting on day 2 during the draft show and Howie trades up and gets him. I'm going to go over.
Oh, I love that.
All right. Over under for Malachi Starks at 24.5. Man.
That's a good over under.
Malachi Starks, I was watching him today, and I have such a hard time figuring out how I want to value him. I'm gonna say over. I think he'll slip past 24. Ryan?
Yeah, I think you are correct. I think he is a kind of 26, 27, 28, kind of in that range. I think he's just past it.
I am fascinated next week on Armchair Scouts to have the Malachi Starks conversation with you guys and see where everybody's at, because I feel like I went back and forth between this guy is amazing to I don't know about this. Mark, where are you at? Starks 24.5.
He feels like a Steeler, so I'll say he goes 21 to Pittsburgh. So very slight under. Not confident in that at all.
All right, Dibes.
I'm with Mark. I'm not confident in this one whatsoever. I think there's even a chance Eman Worry gets drafted over him just based on traits. I'm going to go under, but like Mark said, not feeling good about it.
All right, David?
I'm going over. I think he'll fall in the Brian Branch range from a couple seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good take.
All right, Ryan, over under for James Pierce Jr. at 24.5.
Honestly, I feel like it was a couple of weeks ago. I felt like I just gave up on trying to figure out James Pierce. I've seen everything from him being a top 5 pick to not being drafted in the first round. And it depends on, the time of the day and all that. But I guess I'll say over because that's kind of where he's at right now. But yeah, I don't know. He has confused me this entire draft process.
All right, Mark.
Bizarre thing on the scheduled visits from James Pierce. He is visiting the teams with the number 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 picks. So I think that's his draft range, if I had to guess, just based on his scheduled visits for the week.
All right, so you're taking the under?
Yeah, under, yes.
All right, Dives.
Give me the over.
All right, and David.
I'm going over because I just think there's some issues that some people don't like, but Mark's reasoning was very compelling. It almost swayed me to change my mind. That is pretty compelling information.
Yeah, it almost changed my mind too, but I'm still not going to go with it. I'm going to take the over as well.
I think I quote tweeted it and tweeted, "The dream is dead." Because when I saw that, I was like, I don't think he's getting to 32.
Yeah.
All right. Over under quarterbacks drafted in round 1, 2.5, Mark.
Under. I'm going under. I don't think Dart sneaks in.
All right, Dibes.
Last year surprised me. God, give me the over. Someone's gonna reach on Jackson Dart just to get that 5th year.
All right, David.
Yeah, I agree with Dives. I think it might be Philadelphia who makes the deal where somebody does select him as the 3rd quarterback in the 1st round.
I thought you were about to say it might be Philadelphia.
No. I need my followers. No.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna clip that and send it out.
Yeah.
If Jackson Dart goes round 1, there will be 4 quarterbacks selected in the 1st round.
Whoa!
Jalen Milroe's going round 1.
Whoa!
Wouldn't do it, but he's going to the draft, and the NFL does not like the guy at the draft falling out of the 1st round thing. So if he's going, there's reliable intel that he's going 1st round.
If Jalen Milroe
on Fedor, but I don't think Jalen Milroe is in my top 100.
Whoa. Milroe will be in the 60s for me, I think. But if Jalen Milroe goes in the 1st round, what percentage of his contract should he give to Jalen Hurts?
Oh, wow.
Hurts doesn't need it.
That's fair.
No, sure doesn't. I'm going to go over because, somebody always does something stupid. So somebody will reach and grab somebody.
All right. Dibes. All right, we got to clarify it here again. We're talking wide receivers. We're going to consider Travis Hunter a cornerback for the purposes of this number.
All right, so let's make that like an asterisk. If you include Hunter, then like put Hunter included or something like that.
That becomes really hard to come back and track later. But
sure does.
I'm going to go over.
Over 2.5 receivers in round 1. Okay. David, what about you?
I'm over as well. Whether or not you include Travis Hunter, I still think it's over.
Yeah. I forgot to type. Yes, I will also take the over. Ryan.
Yeah, I'll go with the over, and I will not include Travis Hunter. I refuse to include him as a wide receiver.
All right, Mark.
Yeah, I'm going over. I think it'll be 4+ without Hunter. So I'll go over.
All right, David. Over under running backs in the 1st round at 3.5.
Smash the under.
Same.
I don't like the 3.5. That should be 2.5.
Still smashing it.
Can we change it? Can we change it to 2.5?
Yeah, let's change it on the fly because the 3.5 is a pretty easy one for me. David, 2.5. Same
still
answer.
Under. Still
okay.
Under.
Yeah, it's still the same answer for me as well. Mark?
Under.
I'm gonna say we get shocked during the watch party. Travion Henderson's a 1st round pick.
I'm gonna say over, but I'm gonna classify Jalen Milroe as a running back.
That's messed up.
Okay, over under. I saw him play against OU. That's all I'm saying. That's all he had, and that wasn't working very good either. Ryan, over under corners in the 1st round at 4.5, including Travis Hunter.
It's 4.5. I'm gonna go under. I don't think there's 5, are there?
All right, Mark.
There's some like back end of round 1 guys.
I know, but like that's the thing I was trying to count. I was like, I think I may have messed up, but I was
looking at my big board here.
I'm going to go under because I don't think Benjamin Morrison gets drafted in the first round, even though I think he should. But he's doing like a full court media press today, going on every single show that'll have him on NFL Network. So I feel like his agent was like, "Hey, you're not getting drafted in the first round. Let's get you out there." He's like, he's going to work out for scouts apparently soon. After he obviously was hurt to finish the year, but that's a long way of saying under.
Yeah.
All right. Dipes.
4.5. All right. So let me just do the math here. 1, 2.
Right. That's
3, 4. Yeah, it really, for me, because I think Hairston's a first rounder. It comes down to Benjamin Morrison.
I think he's the second rounder.
God, it's such a crapshoot in this area. I don't know. Give me the over for the sake of being different.
All right. David.
I'm going to go under. I got killed for taking him in round 3 last night on our show, and now we're discussing him as a potential first rounder. But I think Morrison and Trey Amos are both kind of tweeners right around there, but
yeah.
I only see 4 definite.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under, but I don't feel super
I don't
confident.
feel good about this one at all.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to offensive linemen. Mark, over under 6.5 offensive linemen in the first round.
I went under. I had 6 when I did my mock, so I'll go under. Not confident.
All right. Dibes.
Give me the over. I don't like the class, but I feel like everyone always needs offensive linemen. It's in a draft that's so up in the air. I feel like there's going to be a reach.
All right, David.
I have 6 like Mark, so under.
All right, I will take the over. I think we get over that number. Ryan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the slide over. I think there's a 7th one that sneaks in.
All right, let's go to Dibes. Who will be the first linebacker drafted?
Jalen Walker.
All right, are we counting him as a linebacker instead of an edge?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He's talking about a tweener.
Okay. Because that changes my answer. David.
Yeah, if Walker is a linebacker, it's him easily.
All right.
He's top 5 on my board. I love that guy.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, if he's going to be a linebacker, I'll take Walker as well. Ryan?
Yeah, give me Walker.
All right, Mark?
It'll be Walker. I'm a little bit of a hater, but he'll be picked in the top 20 for sure.
All right. David, who is the first wide receiver drafted?
Where are we counting Travis Hunter at? Corner?
I think we're just counting him as a corner.
Yeah. All right. Give me Amika.
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
I like it.
All right. See, now I can't just copy paste over under. I've got to spell names, and that's a whole thing.
I'll put the first name or last name.
Yeah, I'll take Ted McMillan.
Yeah, give me Ted.
Give me Ted.
Mark.
Give me Ted.
All right,
I
Dives.
love that.
I'm going to go like David and say Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden is my pick.
Wild.
Let's get crazy.
All right. So first offensive lineman drafted. I don't want to be first for this one.
I'll go first. Give me Armin Membo. Give me Armin Membo.
Yeah, see, that's where I think I'm going, but I was trying to think through the names. They still get jumped. The O-line gets jumbled for me a lot in this class because I feel like a lot of them are the same. It's like, oh, they're tackles that are probably going to play guards. That are probably going to play guard. I think it's David, who do you have?
Armand Membo. I have him as the 3rd best player in the draft. So,
okay. Ryan?
This one's tough. feel like you could go one of three ways here, but I'll stick to my original and say Will Campbell.
All right. I think I am also going to go Campbell. I don't love it. Mark?
Same.
I have Will Campbell. I have Membu higher on my big board, but I think Campbell goes 4.
Okay. First defensive back drafted. Second defensive back drafted?
Basically.
Is essentially what we're going off of here.
Yeah.
Okay. I will take. Give me Will Johnson.
I like it.
Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, right? I guess it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I'll go Will Johnson. That'd be stupid not to.
Okay. Mark?
I'm taking Will Johnson. I am worried it could be Jedi Barron.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, somebody's going to be stupid enough to do that.
It should be Will Johnson. I like Will Johnson significantly more than anyone.
All right. Dibes?
It's going to be Jade Barron, and that's just my gut feeling.
All right. And David?
Will Johnson.
Yeah,
Dolphin, by the way.
I saw a mock. I think it was CBS. I forgot who it was. That had Will Johnson going like 40th. I was just like, what?
What?
Yeah, I was like, how is that possible? Like, somebody got Howie on the phone now.
I think he goes. I think 13 is his floor. Will Johnson. I think he goes between like 6 to 13.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the second edge drafted. First guy after Abdul Carter, Ryan. And we counted Jalen Walker as a linebacker, so he's off the table.
Yeah, believe me, I would never take away a linebacker. I guess Green.
Okay.
All right. Mark.
I'll say Michael Williams.
I
He is not in my top 50, but I think Michael Williams probably sneaks into like fringe top 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about all the guys I had above Shamar Stewart. He was the last guy I had above Shamar Stewart.
Same.
But I'm going to take him too because for whatever reason, the league seems to really like him. Dibes, what about you?
God, let's get crazy. Give me Shamar Stewart.
All right, David?
I think it's Michael Williams.
Okay, Mark. First running back drafted after Ashton Genty and Omarion Hampton.
I think it's going to be Quinshawn. Give me Judkins. I like Travion more, but I feel like Judkins goes higher.
All right, Dibes.
Shout out to Caleb Johnson. He is my running back 3, but I think Travion Henderson sneaks in.
All right, David.
It's Travion for me. I've known him since he played Pee Wee football, so I'm hoping he goes first over everybody. But of course, he's not going to pass Genty. But yeah, I'm going with my man Travion.
Josh Norris from Underdog gave a great breakdown on Travion on Heed the Call today, where he's basically like, I don't understand how any GM could watch his tape and not want Travion Henderson. So, yeah, there's a little shout out.
All right. Ryan.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Travion.
All right.
If you think his tape looks good in college, you ought to have seen him in Pee Wee and high school. It was absurd, man. It was absurd.
All right, let's go. First tight end drafted after Warren and Loveland, Mark.
I'll say Mason Taylor, Bloodline. Clear ones up, Roman Reigns, but yeah.
All right, Dibes.
I flew over everyone. Here's
This one's hard. I'm going to go with a shocker, Elijah Arroyo.
That's who I was thinking of too, yeah. Taylor Arroyo.
All right, David.
Mason Taylor at pick 40 to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Would also be happy about Mason Taylor in midnight green, and that's who I'm going to say is the third tight end off the board too. Ryan, what do you got?
I'd just be happy with a tight end in the first 3 picks, but I'm going to say Gunnar Helm here.
Ooh.
I think that kind of his name is rising for me.
All right, I thought you were going to say Harold Fannin. I was going to say he's a receiver.
Listen, I didn't want to have to defend myself again. So,
all right, the team to draft Shadur Sanders, is it the Saints or the Field?
Oh boy,
Field.
Dives?
Field.
All right, David.
I'm the Field for all 3 of those questions.
Same here.
Yeah, same here.
All right, let me fill those in for you guys. I will take the Field on this one as well. So let's talk Travis Hunter. Patriots or the Field, Dives?
Field.
Same. I don't think he's making it to the Patriots.
Same.
All right, and then Ashton Genty to the Bears or the Field?
Field.
Yeah, same.
All right, great question.
This is a wash. We might get rid of these.
Yeah.
No, we need only if we get them wrong. Then we can strike ones that we all get.
If you would have
wrong.
said Browns for Travis Hunter and the Raiders for Ashton Genty, I might have changed my answer.
Yeah. All right, first round or nah?
That's the best question of the night.
Otherwise known as over under 32.5.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious.
Nick Eamon-Wari, I'm going to say first. Ryan?
Yeah, he's got to be a first rounder, right? Come on.
All right, Mark?
I'm going to say no.
You just wanted to say that, didn't you?
Dives?
I'm going to go based on just position. Give me nah.
All right, David?
No.
All right, Ryan, Jackson Dart.
Nah.
Mark?
No Rooney.
Dibes?
First round.
All right, David?
First round.
I'm going to say nah. Okay, let's go to wide receiver. Who's first? Mark's first on this one. Mark, you're up. First round or not?
I'll say he goes in the first. People raving about him as a teammate.
All right, Dibes.
First.
David.
First. First half of first.
I will also say first. Ryan.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go for the sweep.
All right. Oh, I didn't even say who we were talking about, did I? How many times have I not said who we were talking about on the show?
Him.
Just him. Okay.
Yeah.
We should still just not say it, so people have to go to the YouTube.
But hey, there you go. Find out who we're talking about. Because that on YouTube.
Egbuka. Ryan, you said first, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Xavier Watts. Mark.
He should, but he probably won't.
All right. Dibes.
Nah.
David.
Nope.
I am also in Ryan.
Nah.
All right, Dives. Cornerback Maxwell Hairston.
First.
David.
First.
I'm also going first. Ryan.
Nah.
All right, Mark.
I'm also going to say nah. He should. But
You should. But yeah.
All right, Derek Harmon. David.
Smash the over.
Does that mean first?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also saying first. Ryan.
Nah.
All right, Mark.
pick number 32 is there.
I would be so happy. That's the guy I really want at 32.
Me too.
I'm right there.
Dives.
Absolutely first.
All right. And first or not, Braden Swinson. Nah. Ryan?
Nah.
Mark?
These next two guys are not in my top 100.
Wow.
Little clarification.
Whoa.
So I'll drop a nah.
I get Braden Swinson was a third round. They're both third round grades for me, but I don't have my big board stacked all the way yet. Dibes?
I really want to say first. I think he sneaks in. Give me first.
All right. David?
Yeah, I am nah for the next two.
Yeah.
All right. So Carson Swessinger.
Apparently
Fun
Baltimore
name.
loves him, though.
It's a great linebacker name.
It is.
It's a great pirate name, too, but I'm not sure where that's relevant. I will also say nah. Ryan?
Yeah, give me a big fat nah.
Okay.
His name reminds me of like ginger ale. Schweppes. I don't know.
I like that.
All right. Dibes?
Nah.
More of a Canada Dry man myself.
All right. Last little section here, more about the Eagles specifically. David, is Dallas Goedert traded during the draft?
During.
So specifically during the draft, no.
Nah is more fun to type.
It is.
I'm also going to say no. Nah. Ryan?
I would just first like to say how proud I am of everybody for running through this. I didn't think we were going to do it, but proud of you all. I'm also going to say nah.
All right. Mark?
I'm still outraged that this is even a conversation. He should be on the roster next year, but nah, he's probably going to get cut. I don't think he'll get traded.
Dibes?
Yeah, he is. Give me yes. Give me yeah.
Yeah. You missed an opportunity to say nah. Hey. Okay. First Eagles pick, defensive tackle or the field? Mark?
I hate not saying the field in questions like this, but I did just say Derek Harmon was going to be the pick. Give me D-tackle.
All right. Dibes?
D-tackle.
David?
I would love it if the ones that I want fell, but I just don't see it. So give me field.
I also hate not taking the field, but it feels like D tackle is the likely. It feels like they like some guys that are probably going to be there. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Ryan?
Yeah, I have to go field here. I think there's two worthy D tackles, in my opinion, that would be drafted. And that's a lot to bank on. So I'm going to go field.
All right. Ryan, what's the position of the Eagles' second drafted player?
Jesus. What are you trying to do to me here? Tight end.
Man.
Because I want it.
All right. Mark?
Can I go DB? Or does it have to be a corner or safety here?
I think I'm good with DB because there's a lot of overlap at times with those. So.
That was my next choice, by the way.
Yeah. Dibes?
Those are good options. But I'm going to stick to my gut. Give me offensive line. Can I say offensive line?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think there's too much overlap to try to separate like interior versus tackle or safety versus corner when it comes to some of that stuff.
Especially this year with O-line.
David?
TJ Sanders, so DT.
I'm tempted to just say O-line for every pick, and I'd probably be good. But I will go defensive back. And then I'm saying third pick is O-line. Ryan, what about you?
I'm going defensive back.
Mark?
O-line.
Dibes?
Tight end.
David?
Oh, well.
All right, David, what about the fourth player?
Safety.
All right. I'm I'm just going to say O-line again because they're taking an O-lineman in the 3rd or the 4th round. Ryan.
Yeah, listen, I kind of agree with you here, but I'm going to go. You know what? I'll go O-line.
All right, Mark.
O-line, same reasoning as Shane. I'm double dipping.
Cheater. Mark's been podcasting with me too long. Dives.
Give me edge.
Nice.
All right. Over under on Eagles trades during the entire draft, Ryan. It's at 6.5.
I think I read somewhere the last 2 drafts hit the over on this, so let's keep it going. Why not? Let's go with the over. Did anybody also see the wild hot take that Adam Schefter said he guaranteed?
Yeah.
Eagles will draft or trade two or more times. It's like, whoa, buddy, settle down.
He said he guaranteed 2 or more.
Yeah,
that feels like that's not even a.
All right, yeah, it's like, yeah, obviously that's a.
Might as well just be like breaking news. Per my sources, the Eagles will show up to the draft.
Right.
Mark, over under 6.5.
Over.
Now I really want to know how many trades they've had in previous years.
I think it was
8 last year.
and then 7 last 2 years.
Yeah. Dibes.
Over.
David.
I'm gonna go with 6, so under.
All right, I'll take the over as well. Perhaps some trading of some future picks to move around. I could see that happening. So, all right, well, there you have it. We did it. I didn't think we would get through 47 over unders in 49 minutes, but somehow we did it, which is great. Because we got a wide receiver show that we're about to go record, our second to last, the penultimate positional rankings for Armchair Scouts headed into the NFL draft. So, guys, let's toss it around the horn, and then we'll get out of here. David, plug your stuff. Anything you got coming out, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find everything at PHL Eagle News or Philly Sports Network. Yesterday, I released 10 players for the first round that the Eagles could be looking at. Today, I did 10 players in the second round the Eagles could be looking at, and tomorrow it's 20 players on day 3. And then I'm not writing anymore this week. I'm done. Tired.
I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I too have about reached the point where I'm just like, I'm done. My scouting reports are getting shorter. Each guy that I write one on, just like, I'm over it. But all right, good stuff. Be sure you guys are following David at PHL Eagle News. Puts out fantastic written work. Ryan, floor's yours, man. Final thoughts. Plug your stuff.
I don't have any written work because I can't read or write. So, but what I can do is plug the Eagles Finpole Network, YouTube, and also Party on Broad YouTube. Head on over there right now. The voting is still going on. We are in the middle. I think we've made it to our Sweet 16 of best Eagles plays of all time. So it's there's been a little bit of a controversy with some of the older plays kind of getting voted out, just given the recency bias. But head on over there, give it a follow, and get your vote in.
All right, good stuff. Dibes, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, I just put out a video on, similar to David, some of my favorite day 2 and day 3 targets for the Philadelphia Eagles, part 5. I've been covering like 5 guys each video. And spoiler warning, 2 of those guys are wide receivers, and guys we'll be talking about right after this. So stay tuned.
All right. And then Mark, thanks for hopping on the show. Final thoughts, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, Armchair Scouts coming up next. Tough Cover Radio show every Saturday on Fox Sports The Gambler. I had Shane on last week. I'm going to have Dives on next week. Hopefully Ryan, hopefully David sometime, maybe after the draft or before the draft. I have to count down. I don't even know how many weeks we have until then. I'm sitting here in a hotel in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and the room's spinning. So I'll turn it back to Shane.
All right. I have a comment here asking, can the prop sheet be posted in Excel, Google Sheets, like
Yes.
you did for the draft rankings. Yeah, we can make that a tab in our draft guide when we get that put out, which I'm going to be working on probably early next week, getting that out. So
we probably should have said that. Like, that was the entire premise of this show, was to use and play during the draft watch party. That's what we'll be doing.
Yep. So, all right. Well, my plug, we obviously are going to have the draft show, the live draft show for day one of the draft. So make sure you guys tune into that. We'll be following along with the draft. We'll be going along the prop sheet, talking about the prospects as they come off the board. That'll be a lot of fun. As for my stuff, Johnny is going to be back from paternity leave on Thursday. We're going to have Charles Marinan come on and talk about the Eagles running back room, running backs around the league, and specifically some guys he likes for the Eagles in the draft. And then if you are not, but are interested in joining Johnny and I's Patreon, patreon.com/ontheshane page, we're recording a mailbag episode for Patreon also on Thursday. So you can go join a free 1-week trial and you can check out all of that stuff on there. But other than that, be sure you're tuned in here to the Eagles Pinpool Network. We'll be coming to you every Tuesday night for Birds of the Roundtable and Armchair Scouts shortly thereafter. So if you haven't got enough of the draft, come listen to us talk about wide receivers. If not, it'll be there later in the week. You can check it out then. Be sure you're following all of these guys on Twitter. Mark is at Mark Henry Jr. Ryan is at Philly Sports PSA. Dibes is at Mr. Crockpot. David is at PHL Eagle News. I am at Shane Half NFL. And we will catch you guys next time.